Welcome back to the Stoner Car Care YouTube channel. Today we're going to tell you how to get smells out of your car. All right, so first things first, we got to stop the bleeding before we can heal the wound. So we got to identify what the cause of the smell is, whether that be smoke, mildew, sour smell, you name it. There's a bunch of different scents and different causes for them. If you have a mildew smell going on in there, if you had some kind of moisture get inside the vehicle, what we're going to need to do is dry that out. So identify the cause of that. Most common ones, people leave their windows down. Maybe somebody has a leak in their sunroof. Could be your heater core on your passenger side that's leaking. That's a really common one. I've also seen somebody have a water bottle jammed underneath their seat, and then when you put the seat back, punctures the water bottle, starts spilling water everywhere. So identify where that water got into the vehicle in the first place, and then the first step is going to be to dry that out. So if it's a ton of water, you might need to get a shop vac or some kind of vacuum that's going to be able to pull that water out. If it's not a lot, roll down the windows on a hot day, open up the doors, put a fan in there, get some airflow going through there to try and dry that out first, and then we can tackle the smells that are coming from it. Regardless of the smell you're trying to get rid of, a good first step for any of them is to get a good thorough vacuuming of the vehicle. So pull all the mats out. We're going to clean these mats. We're also going to just vacuum in all the little tiny spots, move the seat forward, back, make sure you don't have any food stuck in areas, make sure there's no moisture. It's a good way to get a good thorough clean to start, and then also be able to identify if there might be moisture in areas or where the issue is coming from that's causing the scent. The next step that's going to be crucial in just about any smell that you're dealing with is wiping down literally every square inch of this vehicle. So leather, plastics, fabrics, everything needs to get wiped down, the glass, because those scents, even if it's a mildew scent from water on your floor, that scent's going to travel, it's going to stick and get stuck onto other surfaces. So to really get that thoroughly clean and make sure it's not coming out again, we're going to need to wipe down all the areas. Usually for that, I usually like to use like an all-purpose cleaner. Test it first in small areas, make sure you're not going to be pulling any dyes out of fabrics or out of seats or damaging any of the surfaces. But once you test a small area with the all-purpose cleaner you're going to be using, usually I use like a soft bristle brush, a microfiber, go through, just spray one down, go through, give it a brush, make sure you're getting all the little spots, even the cracks and crevices, because this is where it can really make a difference. You've heard of people go and get an odor eliminator treatment from like a detailer or something. This is going to really make the difference, because if you don't get all the spots, one spot can lead the whole thing getting contaminated again. Imagine if you had something, you clean the whole vehicle, but you didn't clean the headliner. Once it gets hot in the vehicle again, that scent comes back out. Now it's reapplied to all the other surfaces, you smell it again. It happens really commonly in smokers' vehicles, also mildew vehicles. So make sure you're being as thorough as you possibly can here, and it's going to minimize your chances of that scent coming back a few weeks later. All right, now we're at the part of the process where it kind of makes a difference on what smell you have and how we're going to treat it. If you have a smoker's car that's been heavily smoked in, honestly, you're probably better off going to a professional to have that handled, because they have equipment that's just going to be cheaper to pay someone to do it than it would be to buy the equipment yourself. Things like an ozone machine, a hot carpet extractor, a steamer, things like that, that by the time you end up buying that equipment, you could have just paid someone to do it that has the expertise and is going to be able to get the job done for you properly. If you're a professional and you need some tips on how to use an extractor, steamer, an ozone machine, let us know. We can make another video on that. But today we're going to teach you how to do the best you can with what you'd have at home. That way you can decide if you need to move to the point of having a professional do it for you. So if it's a heavily smoked in vehicle, you can try this as a first step. We're going to spray on a carpet cleaner under the carpet, brush them really good, vacuum that up. If you're going to have something that's like a mildew stain, you're probably going to end up needing something like an enzyme cleaner or a probiotic cleaner. You're going to want to spot clean that area where it's been heavily saturated or wherever that stink is coming from. And those probiotic or enzyme cleaners will go in and eat up the bacteria that's causing that odor. Now, regardless, even after you do any of that spot cleaning, it's good to go through, and just spray down those carpets, wipe down every area, because like I said before, that scent is going to travel to other parts of the car, and the carpet is included in that. So we wipe down all the plastics, we wipe down the glass, we wipe down every square inch of this vehicle. Now it's time to get to these carpets. Reason why we're doing that last is because as we're wiping down other things, there's a chance things fall down onto the carpet. So we did that initial vacuum, but now we're going to get it thoroughly cleaned. To do that, we're just going to take a foaming all-purpose upholstery and carpet cleaner. This has a nice foaming action, so it kind of cleans the surface really well, doesn't deep clean it as much. But after we've covered that, you're just going to take a brush, brush this in. It's going to help pick up those fibers, work that all-purpose upholstery carpet cleaner into each area that's going to have that scent tied into it. You brush that, then you're going to grab your vacuum and just vacuum up this cleaner. The reason why regular vacuum is okay here, there's not too much moisture involved with the foaming, so it's not too much that's going to clog up your vacuum. So it should be a method that most people could do at home. So now we've effectively cleaned the surface of the carpet, but we haven't deep cleaned it. So if that scent's been in there a while, there's a solid chance you need to use a hot water carpet extractor to get in there and deep clean that, or a steamer to kind of get in the tight areas that you can't quite get into with just like a vacuum or brush or things like that. And then finally, a professional would have an ozone machine, which is essentially like a fog machine that goes inside your vehicle, and it just pumps in a chemical that's going to go through and kill all the bacteria that's in the air, and then they go back and treat it later. So this is going to be the best case you can do at home to try and get all the carpets clean, get the plastics wiped down. We're going to do the glass. The headliner is going to be cleaned. All right, so we cleaned the carpets, we cleaned the plastics, we cleaned the glass, the headliner, everything has been cleaned. Now we're gonna go through with a protectant, put some leather cleaner on the leather seats, some UV protection on the dash, make sure it's protected back from that cleaning. And a little icing on the cake, we're gonna throw a little Joe in here, give a little extra new car scent for it. This guy's here is a hockey fan, so we have a little hockey little Joe for him. All right. A little cherry on top, little Joe in the air freshener vent. That's all there is to this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.